Uh-oh. Something happens when I press that, the start button. Hey everyone. I guess it's quite fitting to open with some laughter because I really had a call to come on and talk about healthy celebration, and I've had a beautiful embodied experience of that since my mid-20s, and it's life-changing, maybe winding it right back in my mid-20s. I met it's pretty classic actually. I met a beautiful Brazilian lady who'd just come back from a couple of months at the Osho Center in India, and I met her in Byron Bay. It's a bit of a cliche sort of story, and that really, I guess, started it was like a fork in the road, or a new track, from the drunken Aussie grommet. I think possibly a couple of weeks before meeting her, I'd had this night out in the town in Byron where I was, as usual, what I did from, my early teens, 12, 13 years old, right through to my early 20s, just basically getting drunk and vomiting most weekends. That was the way we did it, or, the conditioning. Young Aussie blokes just get blind drunk and vomit, and that's part of the deal. It's like, that's almost the initiation, and it's fucking, when I look back, all those formative years, my early teens, when my body's still growing, my brain's working itself out, and all the connections, all the link ups, and there I am just obliterating myself on alcohol, which is just, it's fucking stupid, And sure, it was a lot of fun and I learnt some juicy lessons, but I was so grateful to hit that mid-20s age, and yeah, I think my last big night in Byron, I that was probably the last night I got drunk ever, and it was like $5 to get into some club, and I was just in my full, I think I'd just finished my carpentry apprenticeship. I was all pumped up and strong and surfing, hours and hours every day. And we lined up at this club, and it was like $5 to get in. I'm like, I'm not paying $5 to get into this puffy kind of club. Oops, maybe that's not politically correct. Anyway, so there I am. I go around the back of this club, and then next minute I'm climbing up the down pub. I thought, yeah, I'll be able to sneak in, like that's just in my punk phase. That's how I was rolling, breaking the law. So there I am climbing up the down pipe of this first story, pull myself up over the gutter, up onto the roof. And then I keep walking along this roof, and I get to like a window. I think, oh great, this is my entry in, taking off the fly screen. And then get in the window, and then next minute I'm on someone's bed, and I'm just, luckily there was no one in there. That would have just been horrendous. And so yeah, of course I get out, replace the fly screen. I think I've got to go up another level, so I don't know, maybe climbing another downpipe or finding my way up onto the next roof. And then I go up over the roof. This is the very top roof, and then of course coming down to the front, that's where the nightclub or this kind of bar was. And then I'm up, maybe 3 meters, maybe, yeah, or maybe a bit more, this quite high roof, and I'm like looking over down, and there's all the people in the club, and I'm like, how the hell am I going to get down there? And then I thought, I'll just hang off the gutter and jump down. Next minute I'm on the gutter, hanging onto the gutter. And then, of course, I'm like, shit, it's actually higher than I thought. And everyone's crowding around. Who's this dickhead hanging off the gutter? And then next minute, all the bouncers there yelling and screaming at me to, let go. and luckily I the bouncer who I sort of landed on, who caught me, was a big dude, and sort of there was no damage done. He caught me kind of pretty well, but of course I was turfed straight out onto the street. I haven't remembered that for a while. So I came on to talk about healthy celebration. So that night, well, I guess it was kind of going out with a bit of a bang. That was my my last drunken night when I was about, I guess, 24, 25. And from that moment on, I was just, and I was done with it. I met this woman, took a whole new path into kind of health and spiritual stuff, doing all these courses and meditations, and eventually going to India and spending time at the Osho Center there. And I think going there is when the healthy celebration really anchored in me, because you have these evening meetings. They're called White Robe, and it's like this huge big hall with a pyramid roof, and everyone is dressed in these white gowns or these white robes. And at the high season, like sort of December time, November, December, January, there's live music playing, and you go there for this evening meeting, and there's literally hundreds of people in this huge big hall. The live music's cranking, and everyone, well, I'm guessing, the majority of people there, everyone's not high on drugs or alcohol or anything, and they're just celebrating, dancing as this live music's going on, and it's the most beautiful thing. I remember like looking around in my first trip there, which was 2007. I remember looking around just going, what the hell's going on? Like, so much joy and so much opening and so much celebration, and no one's blind drunk. It's just like, my little Aussie mind, which was already in a state of disarray and expansion and crumbling and all that stuff from all the different stuff I was doing. I was just like, what's going on here? And showing up, I think my first trip was a couple of months perhaps I was there, and just showing up every night and doing this, and it just anchored such a healthy celebration, a new way of celebrating life. Like, this life we have, we're not here for very long, and it's a total gift. And to waste it on drugs and alcohol, and I just don't get it anymore. I guess I've moved through that stage, and I don't judge anyone who's still doing that, but it's like reality is more than enough. Reality is the biggest trip going, I reckon. It's to show up each moment and like be clear, be healthy as possible, and just to feel fucking everything, the daily dynamics of our inner world. Man, I don't know how they can be more of a trip, or more an intensity, or more of a celebration and a connection with life than that. So I guess I'm on here with my sign. I'm picketing for healthy celebration and doing things differently, because the conditioning, especially for young people in Australia, the conditioning is just off the charts. 18th birthday, I was blind drunk and passed out. 21st birthday, you just drink as much as you possibly can, and it's ugly, man. It's just I think there's a new way, there's a different way, and you're not waking up with a hangover, you're not destroying your body. Our body's our temple. It needs to be looked after and honoured. And anyway, that's my rant for the day. I'm picketing for healthy celebration and doing things differently, and I'm sure the mental health crisis or all this suicide or all this struggles, especially young people are having, if there was more healthy celebration, people would be more balanced, you know, not these massive highs and massive downs. And so there is a new way, and I highly recommend it because it's worked for me beautifully since I was 25, for over 20 years. Okay, that's the longest video I've done. I hope you enjoyed it, and enjoy healthy celebration. Sing, dance, do what you need to do to celebrate this beautiful life. Okay, see ya.